This is a review of the syllabus. I'm going to start with the course description. This course is designed to introduce students to children's literature with an emphasis on developing an aesthetic and critical response to literature, experiencing and appreciating a breadth of genres and a variety of authors and illustrators. Creative ways to use literature with children will be investigated. Students will begin to use children's literature as a teacher in an elementary or middle school classroom. I have several outcomes that I want to share with you in regards to this course. The assignments, the larger assignments, are basically the assessments for the learning outcomes. But some of them that I do want to point out is that you're going to be evaluating and analyzing quality literature that will develop and support literacy and curriculum in the classroom. You're going to explore various issues in regards to children's literature. You're going to write critically analyzing the children's literature. You're going to be creating some activities and some objectives that connect to the Common Core standards for quality children's literature. You're going to look at some approaches in using children's literature in the classroom, and you're going to also look at some professional resources in children's literature and literacy education. You want to examine the contributions of outstanding authors and illustrators, and you're going to also look how visual elements such as typography, layout, paper choice, illustrations, ebooks, media, they contribute to the comprehension of the text. The required text is this one here called Literature and the Child. It's the 8th edition. It isn't the brand new edition. I'm trying to keep the cost down, and the information in this is very good. And you should be able to find this as a used copy if you don't want to buy it brand new, or you can rent it and use it online. But we will be using this textbook throughout the semester. This is a list of some of the assignments at a glance, most of the assignments. I will go into those in depth further down in the syllabus and just shortly. I also want to share this is where you will find the conversion for your grade after you receive your number of points and you know what the total is. Right now the total looks like 1950, but it may not be due to some extra credit and things like that. So please don't try to base your grade along the way and try to convert it and figure it out, because you may be off a little bit. But at the end, I will give you the total number of points for the course. You will divide that number of points into your points that you have received, and then which will give you a percentage grade, and you can convert that to a letter grade. If you have a disability or need an accommodation for the class, just let me know, and I will work that out with you. I do have a late work policy. Assignments are due on a Sunday evening by midnight. So are the activities for each week. The lesson modules click off, and if you don't have everything posted, your work will be considered late, and then you'll need to ask me to open the week so you can complete it. If you choose to do that, you get 50 points if you complete all the activities for the week. On top of that, you may have an assignment due that week as well. So just keep track of that. Use the calendar. I will also give you reminders along the way when something is due, so that you have that information. But if you do happen to have a week that's tough, or a week that you did not get all the work completed and you want to complete it, it may mean that you'll get a reduced number of points. It may mean that you'll have to ask me to open the week up again, but I will be glad to work with you. Remember, when you work online, you work in a very positive fashion. You make positive comments. I always say there are warm comments and cool comments. Warm comments, of course, support the work that you are reviewing or the comments you're making on somebody's work. Where cool comments might be some suggestions in a very positive way. And I'm hoping that you will see my feedback is like that as well. My attendance policy is that if you don't complete the activities in a week, that you missed the class, and you need to make that up. And if you do miss the class, if you don't get the work done, you need to let me know that you need the week back opened again, and I'll have to consider doing that for you. Please check Blackboard in your email in case there's something I'm asking you for, all the way up through the end of the semester. Even when you are done with the course, check in occasionally because there might be a problem with a grade or something, and I need to talk to you about that, and I can only get through to you through emails. If you're going to use somebody else's idea, give them credit. Usually when we're doing lesson plans and ask you to do a lesson plan or take an idea off of a lesson plan, that's pretty much public domain, and you don't have to worry about it. But if you think that you're concerned about plagiarism, you can always give credit from where you got that idea from. Again, some resource links here along the way. If you need them, you are welcome to use them. The Lefevre College of Education's mission is that it champions social equity for youth, adults, families, and communities by equipping and empowering scholarly, high-skilled practitioners, education advocates, and leaders. Our vision is to lead the national conversation on advancing the careers of professionals and scholars who are highly competent advocates for equity and justice. We have 5 goals that you can read through at your leisure. And we also have dispositions and core values. The disposition that I favor is the social emotional learning. I work with 3 schools from Buffalo. I helped to start 2 out of the 3 schools, and I joined the 3rd school when it was starting. So I'm very excited. I go back monthly, every other month basis for about a week, and I work with my teachers in those schools. I fly to Buffalo, and excuse me, and I work with them in regards to an social-emotional approach that we use in the school. I started a school about 15 years ago, and that school is the highest performing school in Buffalo, New York. I'm very excited by that, and the founders believe it's because of the social-emotional learning approach that I have taught the teachers and they use in the school. We just opened another school last year, and we are replicating the first school, and again I'm working with the teachers on the social emotional learning component of that school. And my 3rd school is on the east side of Buffalo. Those 2 are on the west side, on the east side, and this school is primarily an African American school with mostly low-income students, but we're working on the social emotional approach there, and I'm very excited. I love being at that school, and I love working with the teachers at all 3 schools, and I'm very excited. In the summertime, I spend more time with them creating some professional development for them. I lead the professional development. So it's a pretty exciting time. So not only do I have my job here that I love at Laverne, but I also fly to those schools and work with them. So it's, to me, a very exciting time in my life, and I enjoy what I do very, very much. And you'll hopefully see that with my passion for children's literature. Now, these are the assignments. I'm going to go through them what seems to be quickly, but a little bit with more detail. And then you can also find these on Blackboard on that left menu on your screen, and you can look at them more at your leisure or read through them here in the syllabus as well. So the first one is the virtual discussions that I've been talking to you about. It's those 8 books that you're reading, hopefully reading now before the semester starts, or will, as soon as the semester starts, start reading them. And you're going to be meeting on a weekly basis with your group that you've been assigned to. You're going to record those meetings, and you're going to then link them to Blackboard so that I can see what your group is talking about. And sometimes you'll invite me to those meetings as well, and then you don't have to record them if I'm part of that. But you're going to use WebEx. WebEx is kind of like FaceTime, Google Hangouts, or Skype. It's kind of like that. It's a free account that you receive from Laverne, and you'll use that. And the Academic Success Center will be your support for that. In case you're having problems recording or using WebEx, you can call the Success Center, and there are students there who have an expertise in using WebEx, and they will help you out. But you do need to write to the help@laverne.edu, send them an email requesting a web account, and this is the information for that. And you need to do that in the first week because you'll be needing to meet with your group in the second week. Here is attendance participation. We've talked about that a little bit already. If you need to be online working weekly, you have 9 days. As I said before, to complete the work in 1 week. The weeks overlap a little bit, so when you're finishing up maybe week 1, you'll see week 2 starting up. So I would suggest that you don't wait for that second weekend to work on the week. If you have to, you have it, but I would get it done before the next week appears, but you still have a couple of days, which is an overlap. Each week is worth 50 points. You do all the activities for that week, you get your 50 points. If you do less than all the activities, then you get a reduced number of points. The third major assignment is a reader's response blog. This is something you'll be working on all semester, almost on a weekly basis. At least 8 weeks you'll be working on this. I don't have an assigned date that you have to have it done. Well, I certainly do. I think it's due by week 15, but you can send them as you post them. So your first book is a touchstone book. Once you have discussed that and read the book and discussed it, and you now blogged about it on that 4-part blog, that's right, you're going to see right here, then you can send that on to me. You can send the link to me, and I can start grading little by little till you get to your 200 points, which is all 8, when all 8 books have been read, have been discussed, and are blogged, and you've posted the blogs for them in one blog. You're going to create your blog. You can do that through wordpress.com, blogger.com, or any other platform you can find for blogging. You're welcome to use those. Make sure that you write about the 4 parts. Make sure you include an image of the book cover, but here are the 4 parts that you will be writing about. So please do that. You will find some exemplars of all of these assignments on Blackboard. Look on that menu on the left side of the screen in Blackboard, and you can scroll down till you find the assignment and click on that, and there's more specific information than even what is here. This author study is a presentation that you and a partner will create based on a video for a flipped classroom. I call them a flipped classroom video, in which you're going to provide content information about an author that you have selected. An author who is coming to our conference is who you'll be creating information about. And then you're going to create 2 activities, one that's technological and one that's hands-on, and you're going to add those to the wiki, to your wiki page that also has your video. And the students in our class, your colleagues, are going to create those activities, complete those activities, and either post the information for the completion of that activity on, or reflect on what they did. And then you're going to, as a presenter and a teacher, you're going to provide some feedback for them in regards to their participation. You're going to write a reflection on all of this, and you're going to submit that to me for your grade. You're going to create a book trailer. I don't know, it's kind of like a movie trailer, but it's going to be about a book. And you're going to create a QR code for your trailer, and you're going to only submit the QR code for me. You won't have to submit the link to your book trailer, because what I will do then is click on the QRL. I have a QR reader, and that should take me right to your video. And then what I like to do, if I have the book in my collection, I'm going to print off your QR code, and I'm going to post it in one of my books. So when I open my book with the same title, of course, I can click on the QR, and I will remember you by your book trailer. We have a major conference on campuses that about 1,000 kids and their families come and spend the day with us on campus, and they're going to visit some children's literature authors. They're going to go to some presentations that some local teachers have created, some students have created, and it's all fun day. There's activities in the park. Mrs. Nelson's book warehouse will be there as a vendor. The authors who come to the conference will come out, and they after their presentations, and they'll sign their books and talk to the students. It's a lot of fun, and you're going to be a part of that. So you need to reserve Saturday, April 20th, 2019 for a day that you'll spend with us on campus volunteering. Some of you will be escorts for the authors. Some of you will be just doing some other work, working with some of the activities in the afternoon. So there's a whole variety of things to do. Sometimes you'll just be standing around that we might need you to do something quickly, and you'll be there as a resource that we can use you very quickly. But it's a lot of fun. There are other 2 events too. If you can't participate for some reason that day, and you could come Saturday, March 9th, and some of you will be doing this as well, to the book sort at the Laverne Science and Technology Charter School in Pomona. And we sort some books that we give out free to students that day. We sort them by grade level and put them in bags and box them so they're ready to go for the conference. And then If you can't do that, you might be able to join us on Friday, April 19th for sometime during the day to do last-minute preparations for the conference. So those are 3 dates I need you to keep in mind to help us out. It's, again, a lot of fun, a great time, and I will expect to see you at the conference. Another activity is our family literacy backpacks. We talk about how parents can be our partners in school, and you can certainly get them to be involved with literacy. And this is one way through creating these backpacks that kids will take home. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, and there's more information. Again, here's the information that will go into those backpacks. You'll create a draft for that backpack of what you're going to add to your backpack, and then you're going to find a family, not one of your own children if you have children, but a friend's family or a relative's family, and you're going to give them the backpack for a week so they complete these nighttime rituals and give you some feedback. They will also give you some feedback about how it went and what they might suggest to make it better. And a lot of my previous students have told me, oh, I'm going to use these in my classroom, and some of them have used them in their classrooms, creating backpacks in some fashion for students to take home and read the books. The last activity before the final exam is that you will have a virtual self-selected library. You're going to use Google Books. You're going to create this library using 24 self-selected books. These are books of your own choosing. You can add the 8 books that are required to read in the class, but the 24, that would be 8 above and beyond the 24. And what I expect within the 24 books are 19 picture books, so they're easy to read, and 5 chapter books. They're a little bit more involved, and then you're going to sort those and have them in your virtual library on shelves, and you're going to actually create the icon or the image for that book and add that to the shelf. And then after you've got your 24 books, 3 books from each of the 8 genres that are listed here, then you're going to create a screencast, a video, showing your library and talking a little bit of answering some questions such as, what did you get out of the project? What books were your favorite? What were your least favorite? Which books might you want to use with your future students? And those kind of things will go into this virtual library assignment. Last but not least is your final exam, and that is to create an e-portfolio. If you already have an e-portfolio, then you just need to create a page, a children's literature page, and in that you're going to post some images, photographs, videos of what happened over the semester in regards to all of your major assignments. You're going to post a link to those as well, and you're going to write a little reflection in regards to each of those assignments. And then you're going to post some other artifacts about children's literature. They might be websites or videos or just resources that you have come across in regards to children's literature and shows you as a teacher who will use children's literature in a classroom. You are then required to do a screencast of this as well, your e-portfolio, and you're going to answer 3 questions. I don't need to navigate through that because you're going to send me a link for your screencast and also a link for your e-portfolio. But in the screencast, which is less than 5 minutes, you're going to talk a little bit about which assignment best represents you as a teacher, which assignment are you most proud of, which one was most fun for you, which assignment was the most challenging for you. And you can talk a little bit about your hopes and wishes for the work that you've completed in this class. And you're going to send those to me during exam week, which is week 16, by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday of that week. And guess what? You'll be done. But please, please, please don't forget to check your emails after that, because if I'm grading your work and I have a question and I can't get a response, sometimes people don't make their e-portfolios public and I can't see them then. I can't give you a grade for it. So I'll usually type you a little email saying, please check your settings and make it public in your e-portfolio so that I can view it and give you a grade. So please, 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 forget everything else for this semester. Do not forget to make that public so I can give you credit for your final exam. You need some more information about me? Here it is here. And here is the course calendar again, but I put that also on Blackboard under the course calendar. And that takes care of the review for the syllabus this semester. As always, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you online.